Hello everyone. Today I am going to make an audio recording for visually impaired student of Pradeep Physical Chemistry Volume 2nd by Dr. S.C. Khetarpal. And today's topic is thermodynamics third. Work function Helmholtz free energy. In addition to the various thermodynamic quantities like internal energy, work, enthalpy, entropy, etc. discussed earlier, two more thermodynamic quantity used very frequently in the study of chemical thermodynamics are work function and Gibbs free energy. These are briefly described below. First, work function, Helmholtz free energy. This is usually denoted by the symbol A from the German word Arbeit, which means work and is defined by the equation A is equal to U minus Ts, where U is the internal energy of the system, T is the temperature, and S is the entropy. Since U, T and S are the function of the state of the system only and do not depend upon its previous history, therefore E also must be a state function. In order to understand the physical significance of the work function, consider an isothermal change taking place at temperature T. Then A1 is equal to U1 minus TS1 for the initial state, equation second. A2 is equal to U2 minus TS2 for the final state, equation third, where A1, U1 and S1 are respectively the values of work function, the internal energy and entropy of the system in the initial state, and A2, U2 and S2 are the corresponding value in the final state. Increase in the function A accompanying the process will be given by A2 minus A1, U2 minus TS2 minus U1 minus TS1 is equal to del A is equal to del U minus T del S, where del U is equal to U2 minus U1 is the change in the internal energy of the system, and del S is equal to S2 minus S1 is the change in the entropy of the system. Now, according to the definition to the entropy change, we know that del S is equal to Q reversible upon T. Further, according to the first law of thermodynamics, as applied to an isothermal reversible process, we have del U is equal to Q reversible minus W max. Minus sign before W has been used to indicate that work has been done by the system during the change under concentration. Putting the value of del S and del U from equation 5th and 6th in equation 4th, we get del A is equal to Q reversible minus W max minus T. Q reversible upon T minus W del A is equal to W max. Thus, for a process occurring at constant temperature, the decrease in the work function is equal to the maximum work done by the system. In fact, it is for this reason that this thermodynamic quantity has been termed as work function, although at one time it was called Helmholtz free energy. Second, Gibbs function gives free energy. This is usually denoted by G and is defined by the equation G is equal to H minus Ts, where S, T and S are the heat content, temperature and entropy of the system respectively. As before, since S, T and S are the function of the state, therefore G is also function of the state of the system only. Hence, for the isothermal process occurring at temperature T, we can write G1 is equal to H1 minus T and S1 for the initial state, equation 9. G2 is equal to S2 minus TS2 for the final state, equation 10. G2 minus G1 is equal to S2 minus TS2 minus H1 minus TS1. Del G is equal to del H minus T del S. Del G is equal to G2 minus G1 is the change in Gibbs free energy of the system. Del H is equal to S2 minus H1 is the enthalpy change of the system. And del S is equal to S2 minus S1 is the entropy change of the system. The physical significance of Gibbs free energy may be obtained as follows. At constant temperature, del S is equal to Q reversible upon T. T del S is equal to Q reversible, equation 12. At constant pressure, del H is equal to del U plus P del V. Substituting the value of T del S and del H from equation 12 and 13 in equation 11, we get del G is equal to del U plus P del V minus Q reversible, del U minus Q reversible plus P del V. Now, according to first law of thermodynamics, del U is equal to Q reversible minus W max. Minus sign before W indicate that work is done by the system. Del U is minus Q reversible is equal to minus W max. Substituting this value in equation 14, we get del G is equal to minus W max plus P del V minus del G is equal to W max minus P del V. Del U is equal to Q reversible minus W max minus sign before W has been used to indicate that the work has been done by the system during the change under concentration. Putting the value of del S and del U from equation 5th and 6th in equation 4th, we get del A is equal to Q reversible minus W max equal to minus W max plus P del V minus del G is equal to del W max minus P del V. But P del V is the work of expansion done by the system corresponding to the increase in volume del V. Hence, stand for the maximum work other than the work of expansion. This is called the maximum net work available from the process. Hence, we can conclude that for a process occurring at constant temperature and constant pressure, the decrease in Gibbs free energy is equal to the maximum net work obtainable from the process. That is the total work minus the pressure, volume work or work of expansion. It is because the change in G is a measure of the useful work done that G has been called as the free energy. Thus, designation gives all Helmholtz is added only when necessary for clarity. Variation of Helmholtz function, work function with temperature and volume. The work function is given by the equation A is equal to U minus Ts. Complete differentiation of this equation gives T is equal to du minus T ds minus sdt equation second. By definition of entropy change, we know that ds is equal to curly Q reversible upon T. Equation third, further from first law of thermodynamics, we have definition of entropy change, we know that Ts is equal to del Q reversible upon T. Further from first law of thermodynamics, we have curly Q reversible is equal to du minus curly W if the work is restricted to the work of expansion only, minus curly W is equal to P dV. Putting this value in equation 4th, we have curly Q reversible is equal to du plus P dV. Substituting this value in equation 3rd, we get ds is equal to du plus pdv upon t. Tds is equal to du plus pdv. Putting this value in equation second, we obtain dA is equal to du minus pdv minus sdt is equal to minus pdv minus sdt. If temperature is kept constant, dt is equal to 0. dA curly A by curly V at constant temperature is equal to minus P. If volume is kept constant, dV is equal to 0. Curly A by curly T at constant value is equal to minus S. The change in work function for a complete process under isothermal condition can be calculated as follows. For an infinitesimal change under isothermal condition, equation 9th may be written as dA at constant temperature is equal to minus PdV. And under isothermal condition, when the volume changes from V1 to V2, we will have del A at constant temperature is equal to minus V1 to V2 PdV. Putting PV is equal to nRT, that is P is equal to nRT by V. For n moles of one ideal gas, we get del A at constant temperature is equal to minus V1 by V2 nRT by V dV. Del A at constant temperature is equal to minus nRT ln VT by में V1 del A at constant temperature is equal to minus W maximum. Variation of Gibbs function, free energy with temperature and pressure. The free energy is given by the equation G is equal to H minus Ts. By definition of enthalpy, H is equal to U plus PV. Putting this value in equation first, we get G is equal to U plus PV minus Ts. Complete differentiation of this equation gives dg is equal to du plus pdv plus vdp minus tds minus s. Ts is equal to curly Q reversible upon T is equal to du plus pdv upon T. Tds is equal to du plus pdv. Equation 5. Substituting this value in equation 4, here we obtain dg is equal to du plus pdv plus vdp minus du plus pdv minus sdt. dg is equal to vdp minus sdt. Equation 6. This is an important expression which gives the change in free energy with change in pressure and change in temperature in a reversible process is called total differentiation equation. If temperature is kept constant, dt is equal to 0. dg at constant temperature is equal to vdp at constant temperature. Equation 7. Curly g upon curly p at constant temperature is equal to v. Equation 8. If pressure is kept constant, dp is equal to 0. Curly g upon curly t at constant pressure is equal to minus s. The change in free energy for a complete process under isothermal condition can be calculated as follows. For an infinitesimal change under isothermal conditions, dg at constant temperature is equal to vdp. For a complete process under isothermal condition, when the process change from P1 to P2, we will have del G at constant temperature is equal to P1 to integrate to P2 VdP. Equation 11, putting PV is equal to nRT, V is equal to nRT by P. For n moles of an ideal gas, we get del G at constant temperature is equal to P1 by P2, nRT by P dP is equal to nRT P1 by P2 integrate dP by dP, nRT ln P2 by P1 is equal to equation 12. For an isothermal process, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 or P2 by my P1 is equal to V1 by my V2. Substituting this value in equation 12, we get del G at constant temperature is equal to nRT ln P2 by P1 is equal to nRT ln V1 by V2. Criteria for feasibility spontaneity of a process. The net entropy change for the combined system and the surrounding can be taken as a criterion for the feasibility or the spontaneity of a process. The result arrived at were if del S system plus del S surrounding greater than 0, the process is irreversible, that is it's spontaneous or feasible. If del S system plus del S surrounding is equal to 0, the process is reversible, that is the system is in equilibrium. The above two system result may be combined and put in the form del S system plus del S surrounding greater than equal to 0, where the sign greater than refers to an irreversible process and sign equal to for a reversible process. For an infinitesimal process, the above criterion may be written as ds system plus ds surrounding greater than equal to 0. Greater sign stand for irreversible process and the sign is equal for the reversible process. If the system loses heat del curly Q reversibly and isothermy at the temperature T, ds surrounding is equal to minus curly Q reversible upon T. According to first law of thermodynamics, curly Q reversible is equal to du plus PdV. Substituting this value in equation third, we get ds surrounding is equal to minus du plus PdV by T. Substituting this value in equation second, we get ds system is equal minus du plus PdV by T greater than equal to 0. TdS minus du minus PdV greater than equal to 0. TdS greater than equal to du plus PdV, where ds stand for the entropy change of the system and the subscript system has been omitted. In terms of entropy change of the system, if the entropy, energy and the volume of the system are kept constant, d is equal to 0 and dV is equal to 0, TdS at constant internal energy and volume greater than equal to 0, ds uv greater than equal to 0, equal for the reversible process and the sign greater for the irreversible process. The subscript u and v indicate the constancy of these properties. In terms of internal energy change of the system, if the entropy and volume of the system are kept constant, ds is equal to 0, dv is equal to 0, 0 greater than equal to dusv, dusv less than equal to 0 is equal to stand for the reversible process and less than for the irreversible process. This implies that if a process under constant condition of entropy and volume is accompanied by decrease of internal energy, the process is irreversible. If no change of internal energy takes place, the process is reversible. In terms of enthalpy change of the system, by definition of enthalpy, we know that H is equal to U plus PV. Complete differentiation of this equation gives dH is equal to du plus PdV plus VdP. Is du plus PdV is equal to dH minus PdV. TdS greater than equal to dH minus VdP. dH as at constant entropy and pressure less than equal to 0. In terms of change in work function, A is equal to U minus Ts. Complete differentiation equation d is equal to du minus tds minus sdt. Tds is equal to du minus sdt minus ta. Du minus sdt minus ta greater than equal to du plus pdv minus sdt minus da greater than equal to pdv. SDT plus dA less than equal to minus PdV. dA at constant temperature volume less than equal to 0. In terms of free energy change of the system, by definition, free energy is given by G is equal to H minus Ts. H is equal to U plus PV. G is equal to U plus PV minus Ts. Complete differentiation equation. dG is equal to du plus PdV plus VdP minus T. ds minus SdT. d plus PdV is equal to dG minus VdP plus TdS plus SdT. Putting this value in equation 6, we get TdS greater than equal to dG minus VdP plus TdS plus SdT. 0 greater than equal to dg minus vdp plus sdt. dg at constant pressure temperature less than equal to 0. Whereas before the sign equal refers to the reversible process and the sign less than refers to the irreversible process. If dg at constant pressure temperature less than 0, the process is irreversible, it is feasible. dg at constant pressure temperature is equal to process 0, the process is reversible, that is the system is in equilibrium. dg pressure temperature constant greater than equal to 0, the process does not occur, that is it is not feasible. Limitation of the criteria for the spontaneity. First, the extent to which the reaction takes place, the rate at which the reaction proceeds, and the mechanism at which the reaction proceeds. Advantage of free energy criteria for our entropy change. An important advantage of free energy criteria over the entropy criteria lies in the fact that the former requires free energy change of the system only at constant pressure and temperature, is not concerned with what is happening to the surrounding, whereas the latter requires the total entropy change of the system and the surrounding. That is the for the process to the spontaneous. Del S total is equal to del S system plus del S surrounding must increase. Gibbs Helmholtz equation. The Gibbs free energy is given by the equation G is equal to H minus Ts. For an isothermal process, G1 is equal to H1 minus Ts1, G2 is equal to S2 minus Ts2. Subtracting the second from equation G2 minus G1, S2 minus H1 minus T, S2 minus S1. Del G is equal to H minus T del S. Del G is equal to G2 minus G1 is the change in free energy of the system, and del H S2 minus S1 is the change in enthalpy of the system. Del S is equal to S2 minus S1 is the entropy change of the system. H is equal to U plus PV. We get G is equal to U plus PV minus TS. Differentiation this equation completely, we get dg is equal to du plus pdv plus vdp minus tds minus sdt. ds is equal to q reversible upon t. du plus pdv by t. This value in equation 6, we get dg is equal to vdp minus sdt. If pressure is kept constant, G upon curly T at constant pressure is equal to minus S. For the initial state, curly G1 by curly T at constant pressure is equal to minus S1. For the final state, curly G2 by curly T at constant pressure is equal to minus S2. Curly G2 by curly T at constant pressure minus curly G1 by curly T at constant pressure is equal to minus S2 minus S1. Minus S2 plus S1 is equal to minus del S. It may be written as curly del G upon curly T at constant pressure is equal to minus del S. Substituting this value of minus del S in equation 4, we get del G is equal to del H upon T. Curly del G upon curly T at constant pressure. This is the most common forms of Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. If A is equal to U minus Ts, del A is equal to U plus T. Curly del A by curly T at constant value. This is another form of Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. Divide equation throughout by t square, we get curly g upon curly t square is equal to curly h upon curly t del g upon t square plus 1 by t curly del g upon curly t at constant pressure. Equation 13, curly del g upon t at by my curly t at constant pressure is equal to minus del h upon curly del t square. Equation 14, we get it. क्या हो गया? Forms of Helmholtz equation involve quantities like del G and del H which are state function and do not depend upon the path followed. Hence, Gibbs-Helmholtz equation is a general equation applicable to reversible as well as irreversible process. Application of Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. The most important application of the Gibbs-Helmholtz equation is the study of galvanic cell. When a redox reaction is allowed to take place in a single beaker, heat is evolved. Earlier, it was believed that when the same reaction is allowed to take place in an electrochemical cell, the electrical energy produced was equivalent to the heat evolved. However, later on it was found that in a number of cases, the electrical energy produced is not equivalent to the heat evolved. This was explained by Gibbs and Helmholtz equation by stating that the electrical energy produced was equal to the decrease in the energy accompanying the cell reaction. They pointed out that if n is the number of electrons given out by one of the electrodes taken upon the other electrode, then the quantity of electricity produced is equal to n of Faradays, where F is equal to 1. Faraday is equal to 96500 coulombs. If E is the EMF of the cell, then electrical energy produced by the cell is equal to NFE minus del G is equal to NFE decrease in the free energy. Substituting this value gives Helmholtz equation. NF is equal to minus del H upon T NF curly E upon curly T at constant pressure. Nernst heat theorem. W. Nernst made a detailed study about the variation of enthalpy change and the free energy change of the system with decrease of temperature. The result thus obtained is called Nernst heat theorem and is briefly described below. According to Helmholtz equation, del G is equal to del H upon plus T curly del G upon curly T at constant pressure. From this equation, it is evident that at absolute 0 when T is equal to 0, del G is equal to del H. Nernst observed that as the temperature is lower towards absolute 0, the value of curly del G upon curly T decreases and then approaches 0 asymptotically. This means that del G and del H are not only equal at the absolute 0, but the values approach each other asymptotically in the vicinity of this temperature. This result is known as Nernst heat theorem. Mathematically, it may be expressed as limit T tends to 0 d del G upon dt is equal to limit T tends to 0 d del H upon dt is equal to 0. We know that curly del G upon curly T at constant pressure is equal to minus del S. Curly del H upon curly T at constant pressure is equal to del Cp. Combining this result with equation first, we get limit T tends to 0, del S is equal to 0 and limit T tends to 0, del Cp is equal to 0. Since gases do not exist as at absolute 0, this means that the heat theorem is not applicable to gases. Similarly, it is found that be inapplicable to liquid also. Thus, Nernst heat theorem is applicable to solid only. Third law of thermodynamics. The result of Nernst heat theorem leads to indicate a generalization which has been called as the third law of thermodynamics. According to Nernst heat theorem, del Cp approach 0 at 0 Kelvin. This implies that at 0 Kelvin, the heat capacity of the reactant and product become equal. It's most probable that at 0 Kelvin, all substances have the same heat capacity. On applying quantum theory to the heat capacity of solid, it is found that heat capacity of solid tends towards 0 at 0 Kelvin. Thus, Nernst heat theorem leads to the following result. Limit T tends to 0, Cp is equal to 0. Also from Nernst heat theorem, limit T tends to 0, del S is equal to 0. Proceeding exactly in the same way as above, it may be concluded that all solids have the same entropy at absolute 0 of temperature and it tends towards 0 at absolute 0 of temperature, that is limit S is equal to 0, T tends to 0. This generalization is known as third law of thermodynamics. It may be stated as under: the entropy of all perfectly crystalline solid may be taken as 0 at the absolute 0 temperature. In a broader sense, the law is usually stated as follows: every substance has finite positive entropy, but at the absolute 0 of temperature, the entropy may become 0, and in fact it does become 0 in case of perfectly crystalline solid. Like the first and the second law, this law is also generalized based upon experience, and there is no direct proof for this law. However, the law has been verified in a number of ways, and there is no doubt about the validity of the law. It is important to note that third law of thermodynamics does not state that the entropy are 0 at T is equal to 0. It merely states that all perfectly crystalline solids have the same entropy at T is equal to 0. Choosing a common values as 0 is only a matter of convenience. Test of the third law of thermodynamics. By calculation of equilibrium constant minus del G is equal to RT ln K, the standard free energy change is related to the standard enthalpy change and the standard entropy change according to the equation del G naught is equal to del H naught minus T del S naught. Putting the experiment value of del H naught and calculated value of del S naught using the absolute values of entropies obtained from the third law of thermodynamics and apply the relation, del S naught is equal to summation del S naught product minus summation del S naught reactant. Del H can be calculated for a reaction. Putting this value of del G in equation first, the equilibrium constant K can be calculated. It is found that for a number of reaction, the value of equilibrium constant as calculated above comes out to be in close agreement with the experimental value. By comparing with entropy calculated from statistical mechanics, the absolute entropy calculated on the basis of the third law are found to be in complete agreement with those calculated using statistical mechanics. Third, by proving that different allotropic forms of substance have equal entropy at absolute 0, Orthorhombic sulfur changes into monoclinic sulfur at the transition temperature of 369. The enthalpy of transition del HTR is found to be minus 402 joule mole inverse. Hence, molar entropy of transition will be given by del TRS is equal to minus 1.09 joule kilo inverse mole inverse. The individual entropy of the two forms can also be calculated by measuring their heat capacity from T is equal to 0 to T is equal to 369 Kelvin. It is found that S alpha is equal to S naught beta plus 37 joule kilo inverse mole inverse. S beta is equal to S naught beta plus 38 joule kilo inverse mole inverse. Hence, at the transition temperature, del TRS is equal to S naught alpha minus S naught beta minus 1 joule kilo inverse mole inverse. Comparing third and fourth equation, we get S naught alpha is equal to S naught beta. The element in perfectly crystalline form are arbitrarily ascribed a value of 0 for the entropy at absolute 0. Then all perfectly crystalline compounds will have 0 entropy at 0 Kelvin, keeping in mind the definition of entropy of formation of a compound. Residual entropy. The entropy which the crystals of a substance had T is equal to 0 Kelvin is called the residual entropy. Origins of residual entropy. To understand the origin of residual entropy, let us consider a crystal made up of AB molecules where A and B are similar atoms so that the molecules has very small electric dipole moment. These molecules can adopt different orientations such as AB, AB or ABA. AB, BA, BA, AB. This arrangement are many other random arrangement that the molecules can adopt very little difference of energy. There is residual disorder, hence there is residual entropy at 0 Kelvin. Calculation of residual entropy. Residual entropy can be calculated by applying Boltzmann formula. S is equal to KLN W, where W represents the number of possible orientation of the molecules that are equal probable that is have nearly the same energy, and hence W is called the thermodynamic probability and K is Boltzmann constant. A few examples are given below. Residual entropy of CO, residual entropy of FClO3. Suppose a sample consists of n molecules of CO. Now each molecules have two orientations that are equally probable: CO, OCO, OC, CO, OC, OC. Therefore, same energy can be achieved in 2 to power n different ways. W is equal to 2 to power n. S is equal to K ln 2 to power n is equal to K n ln 2. Kn is equal to R, then S is equal to R ln 2 is equal to 5.85 joule inverse. FeCl3 residual entropy is equal to S is equal to R ln 4 is equal to 11.5 joule kilo inverse. In general, if a molecule can adopt p possible orientation at T is equal to 0, which have nearly the same energy, the residual molar entropy will be SR is equal to RL and P. Thank you.